Quite an interesting veto. Aurora banning Mirage is certainly something that caught me off guard. Falcons' 2 maps that they're comfortable on are Vertigo and Nuke. So they're going to be pretty happy that they've ended up on the latter. But Kenzie here on the CT side was highlighted by Neo on the desk, and it's a great start here to the map for Aurora.
Yeah, this is excellent. Oh, Dupree, he's been the main guy, I feel like, when all the Falcons games I've watched lately, and he's going to dive in to get a triple kill and recover it into a 2v2. On his back as well, and alongside Snappy, they are certainly in this round. And yeah, I mean, I'm actually very surprised, you're right, that they actually let it go to Nuke. It's the one map which Falcons have looked competent on as of late. They've got 2 maps which they've played like 5 and 4 times, which they haven't won a single one on yet. Wrestle just pausing there to listen for the sound cues, but sadly, this was a 4v2 for Aurora. This one has got away from them, and it's all thanks to Dupree.
I feel like this pistol round is a great reflection of Aurora's form as of late, man. They've got the firepower, they get into good positions, but then they just let things fall apart, or things get destroyed from there. Either way, Result in the 1 versus 2 looking for the retake. He's got 2 pistols and he's got 2 opponents to deal with, but Dupree is the man. It's an ace coming through from him to open up here on Nuke, and that will certainly spur his team on.
You know what? That is kind of what I expect from Dupree. It's weird, right? I mean, people will look at him after he left Vitality, you know, played in Preezy in Tier 2. Maybe that's the end of his career. Maybe he plays in Preezy for the rest of his career. Maybe he plays in that sort of Danish sort of mix to bring up new players. But I think he's still got it. And honestly, I think he's the main part of this Falcons team that is a positive. There's been so many negatives around them, and Dupree, for me, has been brilliant individually and often takes point for this roster. Kenzie, the main outside defender on Aurora, pushing up in the following round with that 5-7, trying to play a timing. Oh, and he may be behind the secret player very quickly, unless Snappy has a chance to cut him off, but I don't think he's seen anything just yet.
Yeah, Kenzie still tracking and tracing Madden here, is in a lot of trouble, doesn't realize the danger that looms, and Kenzie will get that kill. Another opening frag coming through from him, as was the case in the pistol, but still a job to be done here for Aurora to try to convert this into a win. Falcons don't have much going for them right now. Snappy, I think he's dropped down on top of the mini roof, and it looks like he's going to call back for his troops to head in that direction. Snappy is one of the best IGLs in the world on this map. Remember that Nuke was a massive feature in ENCE's success when we saw them on that strong run last year through IEM Dallas, Challenger Katowice, and Cologne. Nuke was one of the core maps that saw them be so successful, and so Snappy will certainly feel comfortable here with the reins in his hands on this T side. Falcons head back to the scene of the crime where Madden was taken down, and it's a really good call and a great read because there's no resistance. There's a player who's made his way down vent. He's been spotted out, and he's been fragged. So that'll certainly allow for them to make their way forward into this B-bomb site.
Another important kill from Dupree. This time I'm dinked down to 16 with that recovered Mac 10. And we're going to avoid all this. Wrestle, he's outside minding his own business right now, but we're actually going up secret through Mini into the A-bomb site. And the question is the time on the clock, as you say. 13 seconds for this plant. Norvi finds 1. Dupree's waiting for Wrestle to rush in though, and it's going to be an easy kill. And the bomb plant is safe. 3v2 despite the health. I think Falcons are going to recover this, but Lucky with the jumping back 10 will finally be put down. And now Decker with just the scout. Sure, 2 scout shots would get these 2 kills, but it's very unlikely now.
Yeah, you also wouldn't know that for a certainty. It does look like he's going to feel it out here. 1 versus 2. Deco, lightning quick with a sniper rifle in his hands. He's hunting, he is searching, but there's nothing on offer. And it's probably one of those situations where if he can't find a kill soon enough, he saves the gun and unfortunately narrowly misses out on the opportunity. So another strong recovery coming through from Falcons in a round that wasn't looking great. And I love that pivot call there from Snappy as well. There wasn't much time on the clock, but everybody bought into the call that came through without any hesitation.
Damn, Dupree, what a start from him. Living up to my billing. 5 kills in the pistol to go alongside his 5 majors, of course. Only a few.
Yeah, only the most out of any player on Earth.
Only a few.
Yeah.
You could say that's decent.
You could still count it on one hand, but it's not that impressive, is it?
What a great recovery once again. And as I said, you mentioned it, I'm early days. Obviously, I'm not going to count any chickens yet, but it's kind of crazy that Aurora did let it go to Nuke. The only map which Falcons have looked competent on lately. And,
yeah.
well, They have a great chance to perhaps get an opening. Deco with that scout again.
I reckon when Zonic was doing the veto or Snappy, probably a little bit surprised to see Mirage was being banned by Aurora, because they don't play Mirage, mate. They played it 4 times, lost it every single time, and it hasn't really been close either. So, yeah, it was quite a speculative decision. They must know something we don't.
I mean, yeah, Falcons 0 from 5 on Anubis, 0 from 4 on Mirage. They don't play Inferno.
They play 2 maps, Nuke and Vertigo.
Yeah, that's the main terrifying factor for them. They need to expand that pool ASAP. And you'd expect, you know, to trust in these experienced players, to trust in the Snappy and Zonic partnership to rectify that. But in recent times, it hasn't really changed much. It's an important kill from Snappy, though, on toward Wrestle. This round was still a 4 versus 4. Kenzie has found that AK as well. He's got Kevlar to go with it.
Something to keep an eye on here in this first half is Magisk inside. He is certainly somebody who attempts a lot of their duels, and he hasn't actually had the success rate you would expect from him as of late. Attempts 24%, only a 30% success rate. So we're going to need to see more than that out of Magisk here on this occasion. We know how reliable he is as a player. Going back to the round, though, Aurora have the read here, making their way down the vent and towards this B bomb site. Again, there's not much time in the clock. That's why Snappy has to take decon control. And Deco out of nowhere. Beautiful headshot coming through from the scout. That puts Sunpius on notice, and Deco knows he's done his job. He knows his presence alone now is what's required of him while he waits for his teammates to come into the equation, and he's been able to locate Sunpius. Good pivot from him, but it's all on dupreeh. Hasn't died yet. 8 kills. He's been fantastic on the map. Is the bomb planted for him? I don't think it is. That's why he has to try and make a move, and Aurora have just won the eco.
How on earth have they managed that? I thought that was no chance to recover that for Aurora once Kenzie went down, because then it was just the pistol and the scout left, right? The AK was lost in double doors. So, yeah, I mean, for Falcons to lose that one, I think that's going to be looked at the demo later and said, oh, dearie me. But a great start for Aurora to win on that eco, that investment they kept over from the previous round. Just that scout was really all it was.
Yeah, and the damage was done as well. Look at the investment now for Falcons based off the kills that come through in the previous rounds. They're going to spend all their money prioritizing utility as well. I really like that, and not at all surprising from a team led by Snappy, coached by Zonic, all the experience in the world as well. And it looks like they're going to set themselves up for a massive burst in towards the safe bomb site. One of the first big tests for Aurora. Can they lock it down on the defense? There's Magisk, as I was talking about. Opening kill comes through from him. Norway only just has a bit of room to work with, but he'll get taken down, and the burst is perfect.
Deco's still here, though. There's one more. Needs to pivot. Oh, it was so close. But dupreeh again. What on earth? Triple kill. Instant headshot with what? 3 bullets left on the Tech 9 toward Lackey's rotation through heaven. And Aurora, eyebrows raised, and rightly so.
Yeah, you are on the money to highlight dupreeh coming into this one, man. Fully lived up to that expectation so far. When they brought him into the team, there were a lot of eyebrows raised because you've kind of replaced like a star player, someone who's a very heavy fragger, with somebody who's like going to raise the floor of your team, bring stability and bring experience, you know, some entry prowess as well. But it wasn't an out-and-out star player. Either way, dupreeh is the star of the server right now. He has 11 kills in 4 rounds, Trav, and Deco doesn't spot the head. That's the AWP. The AWP is on the deck. One of the most important investments of the round. At least Kenzie can recover, though.
Yeah, Kenzie so often the outside player on Nuke, but usually does his best work with rifles. Trying to reposition to basically a similar area Deco was at. Nori will at least get one back, and they're going to choose to boost him up toward the rafters. Actually, it's Wrestle, sorry, being boosted up toward the rafters, and Nori staying top hut with the MP9. Gives Wrestle a little bit more time to rotate toward heaven, maybe help out outside if he thinks it's a risk, and could even come back toward A very quickly. He's actually just going to stick around toward that rafter position. He's going to do really well to get to. dupreeh and Snappy go down. There's Norvi activating, and Sunpius is last alive with just the AK, but just is a strong word. He's a great rifler as he is AWPer, but he's not going to expect Lackey going all the way around the back, and Aurora, that should be enough to make it an even game.
We have a game on our hands, mate. This is exactly what we were expecting coming into the server. A hotly contested affair. It is the pick of the opening matches without a doubt. And, I mean, it's not like losing this match would be the end of the world, because you play against Party Astronauts, which is probably, you would feel very confident as either one of these teams. But starting off day one, ESL Challenger Jönköping, you want to set things in motion in a favorable fashion. Falcons going to force up here once again, not nearly as much utility as they had in that previous force buy, so they don't have that luxury of just, trying to go for a big burst in towards A. It's going to have to come down to the firepower on this occasion.
Oh, Lackey. Holding the line beautifully. Triple kill. And this was a full investment from Falcons. He's going to even make it a fourth. Lackey could be on for the ace here in what was a full force buy for Falcons. Lackey not necessarily known to be the main fragger on this team, but put him in the right positions, he can deliver.
Yeah, he was actually he's the IGL, or he was the IGL rather, for a long time for Aurora. They decided to change it up, and Norway stepped into that role. Of course, Norway and Kenzie, the duo that were part of Fours before, they ended up being cut from that roster. You know, Jerry said in an interview that they weren't really too keen to buy into the system and play his style of Counter-Strike, and that kind of tells me that Norway in particular has an idea of how he wants to approach the game, and that's probably why we've seen him step into this IGL role. We're seeing a couple of these younger Russian players stepping up. You know, Shelfie on 9 Pandas now, another one of those examples.
Yeah, but you know, same thing for Aurora. It's LAN presence we need to see from them, right? I mean, we mentioned their online form was a bit shaky to qualify for Pro League, all those opportunities going a-begging. But of course, they did respectably in the global finals with CCT by making playoffs and pushing Astralis close, but they didn't win a map in Dacia Belgrade. They failed to make playoffs in the Mason Masters in Mongolia, which is a shame because, you know, LAN progress is what will get them to that next level. And we all know they're talented enough to get to that next level. The eco for Falcons is getting rightly eaten up. The nades, 3 of them come toward Dupree's position. Make that a 4th in the end.
Damn,
but already the USP had taken him down. But yeah, I mean, we've been massive enjoyers of this Aurora team for such a long time. And yeah, just we almost like our heart kind of was with their tier 2 boys in a way, like us, right?
That's exactly it, man. Cut from the same cloth.
Exactly. Cut from the same cloth. And we want to see them improve. And I completely loved the Resort pickup. He's been insane since, and actually been kind of incredible that he's managed to take up the mantle for some of the maybe lesser performances of the likes of Norvi and Kenzie sometimes.
I will say in his interview, I mean, we didn't get much at all from him, but when he was asked the question by Mike about if they're going to take the fight to Falcons and give them a tough time, and you know, I could be reading into this a bit much, but he said, I am gonna. But it didn't sound like there was much confidence in the whole team. It was more like, I know I can do it, and he has been in great form, but I don't know if that's a reflection of the state of Aurora's confidence as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, could be right. When you mentioned
could have also been a language thing, right?
Yeah, true. When you mentioned the Jerry situation about him like, sort of bringing up those players, I'll get back to that in a moment, because look at Norvi, they're taking complete lobby control of Aurora. They got Ramp, Crew Trophy as well, but Magis does really well to find one in response. HE, if that was just actually a proper deep HE, that absolutely would have taken Magis, but they've just got an insurance policy in Kenzie. There's nothing to worry about for Aurora in this round, even though it's only a 3v4, it feels totally in control for them. Falcons have deep control with Madden, and that is the main factor that could bring this round back in response, but now it's been spotted out. He
is absolutely the one way that they're going to get back into the round, but like you say, he's been seen, so going to be tough for him to make anything of this now that he doesn't have the element of surprise on his side. Plenty time to work with, and a good opening kill in towards the bomb slide coming through from Madden. That was a vital gunfight, but he doesn't expect a second on the rafters, and understandably so. And now it's on Snappy and Sun Pius. Been teammates for a long time. There'll be some good chemistry between them. 2 versus 3 to recover. They've got the bomb on their back and 40 seconds to work with.
You mentioned good chemistry. That's one of the things that I did get a chance to hear from Dupree in the Pro League game against Tyler. I interviewed him afterwards, and he said, well, actually, the mood in the camp is pretty awful at the moment. Something we're going to need to change. And mood in the camp is one of the main things that can change your fortunes as a team. It's not all down to individual skill or synergy. It's down to personal feeling in the roster as well. They're going to try the plant, and that's a brilliant clear by Deco. Closes the door once again, leaves Snappy in a tough position. He's being baited by Deco. The up may go down, but Kenzie was always going to take the kill, and Aurora are here to play. It's
good to see that Aurora have been able to hold their nerve. You know, they lost a pistol where they had a big advantage. They had a way to get into the force buy in the second, and yeah, neither way worked out the way they would have wanted, but after winning that eco round, they've certainly looked a whole lot better here on the CT side of Nuke, and they're playing with confidence as well. I love to see how they get in the faces to disrupt the T side here. Not afraid to take the fight to Falcons. Deco's looking pretty hot in the server as well, and well, it's going to have to be a half buy now from Falcons.
Kenzie trying to answer back with some of that aggression of his own, but Norvi will hold that line toward Hut. Snappy, Sun Pius, and Madden with a Tech 9 between the 3 of them. Probably not going to be much they can do about this. Even a real utility probably won't be helping them out. One thing that is important to mention is that Aurora don't have the AWP in this round. But I think they're going to have it in the next one. Look at that money they built up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, is that Falcons need some kills here to just try and chip away at that economy because, well, there's a mountain of money right now here for the CT side. They might be able to just buy up for the rest of the half regardless of what happens. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a tactical timeout here just so that Sonic can try relay some thoughts and figure out a bit of a solution, because right now, these early rounds are just not starting out very well for Falcons.
Do you think they just didn't take the AWP because they knew it was pistols coming up next? More maneuverability. You've got so much money to buy another one anyway.
I think CT side Nuke is one of those maps that you can get away without having the AWP, and we know that Deco is a guy who's quite dynamic in general, but the AWP is now in place, so it might have been that.
Yeah.
But again, as I mentioned, these early rounds not working out, and Magisk, as I highlighted earlier, has had some trouble in those opening duels towards inside as of late, and we're seeing that play out here once again. He's 3 for 10. Everybody's on 3 kills, bar Dupree, who hasn't gotten a frag since the 3rd round, Trav.
Yeah, very good point. Kenzie, nice clear on Snappy. That is a right eye peak favoured angle. That one you do tend to see arm first in that position. Deco's even feeling confident enough to run around and go for wall and smoke bangs around that hut area. Adam trying to creep out in his 2v5. Timing's not great, but Deco from the AWP from top hut. You don't see that often, an AWP top hut. Hello?
If anybody, though, it will be Deco.
Of course. Of course.
He's so easy on the eye, man. Such a fun AWPer to watch. He trades out for the rifle as well, just gives him a bit more maneuverability. Lackey on the flank will be found out by Dupree, but it's a consolation kill. Certainly not going to affect the outcome of the round here. Bomb is in towards lobby. And this is a beautiful start to the map, and the tournaments at large for Aurora certainly will do a world of good for their confidence.
You mentioned it. It's very simple. Dupree has cooled off, and so have Falcons, full stop. 23 HP to find Deco and Kenzie. Not going to happen when they're both holding the angle together. It's a comfortable crossfire. Dupree tries his best, as he has been with this roster and in this game, but not this time. And you mentioned Wrestle. I mean, you can see his opening frag here with the A4. Actually one of my favourite players to watch with that M4A4, of course, reduced to 3 grand rather than 3.1. And I'm an A4 enjoyer myself as well. And Wrestle, mentioned by Jerry in old interviews as well when he was on 4s with him. Some of the best aim he's ever seen. And that's a high praise considering who Jerry's played with in his career. Yeah,
true. And I think more and more people are seeing that as we go on here as well, right? Of course, we used to have the Power Rangers in the Aurora camp. You know, they had some very bright hair colors across the board. And I was thinking, I kind of figured it out. Oh, yeah, there we go. We love to see the styles coming through. He is feeling good, is Mr. Restold. But like I was saying, I think the coincidence, is it a coincidence, Trav? They changed their hair colors to a bit more of a neutral shade across the board, and then their form fell apart. We need the Power Rangers back, man.
I know, man. I know. It was so much fun. It was adding a spice of color.
Oh, bit of side eye.
That is spicy.
I see you.
That is spicy. I can tell you that for sure.
All right, well, we do have a bit of a tech issue at the moment. Hopefully not going to be too long before we're able to resolve it and get back in the action. Of course, teammates not allowed to communicate in the technical pause, so got to just sit there and stew, marinate a little bit, ponder your own roles, I guess, and figure out what you might want to change up in a bit of a micro instance.
This has been a great recovery from Aurora, considering the start that they had, of course. Dupree getting that ace was completely unexpected. And as I said, since he's cooled off, Aurora have grown back into the game. I mean, we know the snappy, Sunpious, Madden core is known as reliable, and adding Magisk to the mix should have added to that. But not yet. As I said, I casted them at Pro League, and while there were certainly some individual moments that felt few and far between, especially in the comfortable 2-0 loss they took to BetBoom. Dupree is still playing brilliantly, as I said, and I spoke to him after that match versus Tyloo, which turned out to be a pretty exciting match in the end, actually. They did lose that opening map to Tyloo. And mentioning, of course, about how mood in the camp isn't the best yet. And while that makes sense to get them to gel, question has to be asked, how long will it take them to get there when the clock is ticking quickly in this scene?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it kind of just feels like, everybody expects results immediately, especially when you've got a name like Falcons, when you've got as much money behind them as well. But remember, this is their third LAN event. Thorin's got a pretty good barometer that it's either 3 months for a team or 3 LAN events before you make any drastic inferences about what we can expect. So this is the event for Falcons that I think, going into the player break is certainly going to give a lot of people an idea of what we can expect from this team in the long term. There's a lot of suggestions flying around about changes that could happen, but they're just focused on this team. They're focused on making this project work. And, there's signs, there's glimpses, but we need to see a much higher level from them. We heard Madden in the interview say that they're here to win this entire event, Trav, and anything less than that would be considered a failure. Yeah,
indeed. Pro League, such an important qualification situation for these two teams, which is why another one of the reasons it made it one of the pick of the BO1s, without a doubt. The pick of the BO1s to start off Jönköping in 2024. Of course, our next two BO1s will be Complexity versus Alliance and ENCE versus MIBR. First time matches between those two. Of course, ENCE and MIBR played against each other a lot of times, but not with the current lineup for ENCE, obviously.
Have you cast the new ENCE yet?
Once, I think.
Okay, I haven't seen the new ENCE since they brought in a couple new players. Of course, Poddy and SDY joined in the mix. Looking forward to seeing them in action.
A couple of good storylines there. Looking forward to getting into that one.
And then, of course, Cole versus Alliance, that's kind of like David versus Goliath. The hometown heroes certainly have their work cut out for them, playing up against the Beasts of Complexity. Yeah. The highest rated team coming into the tournament.
Yeah, Alliance, I do worry for them as to how they're going to play. I mean, obviously, we'll get into it when that game gets started, but tons of experience, just no form in any tournament really lately. Of course, they made it to Jönköping qualifying through the Swedish Open qualifier. Obviously, they beat Eyeballers, I think, in the final. Medisport did lose to Eyeballers, so that main premier Swedish organization at the moment that is wanting to be the main team at these sort of events, unfortunately didn't make it. And Alliance, sadly, their form, I believe they played a LAN in Östersund just last week, and they lost to Draken's mixed team, I believe. Johnny Speeds, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
Good team, though. Chorzy on that roster, I believe. Bit of a player that was on Apex, I believe, in the past, and was very, very young. I think he stopped to do studies.
Was it maybe Godsent as well that he had featured in, if I'm not mistaken?
So. Oh, was Chorzy on Galaxy Racer? Was it Galaxy Racer?
He definitely was on Galaxy Racer, yeah, along with Joel's as well, kind of where they cut their teeth.
Yeah,
Made a name for themselves. It was Galaxy Racer and Apex, indeed. Not Godsent. There we go. That's why I trust your memory more than mine, Trav.
I'm so proud of myself.
You should be.
But yeah, since then, been a struggle for them.
Okay, so the word on the streets is that we're going to get back into the action soon enough here, and we will resume proceedings on Nuke. Hopefully, this little break here for Falcons will serve them well so that they can just reset themselves mentally, but also just slow down the momentum that Aurora have behind them. They've won 7 of the past 8 rounds of Aurora, and they've been in dominant fashion, Trav.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at their money tells you everything you need to know about that. Kenzie still on quintuple digits. Falcons probably need one of these last two. A pistol on the CT side can easily turn 8-4 into 8-6 very quickly, maybe even 8-7 if Aurora choose to force.
Problem is, Falcons were, like 3-1 up or 3-2 up, so they're going to have to get more rounds on the board than what they've accumulated so far. They've used a bit of their utility as well, wall of smokes towards outside, just to try and deny information here for the CT side. Nade used to try to do damage instead of clear out the smoke. Not something we see too often anymore. They're more like a, used to force gunfights and try and inflict damage. Either way, Falcons have been able to cross in towards Secret undetected, so that does give them some positional control. It's actually only decos towards the lower site, and once again, without the orb. So I think you're onto something there. Yeah,
I think that when they have that money luxury, removing the risk of letting that AWP go is seemingly something they're willing to choose. So, yeah, it seems like I clocked that one early.
It's a good decision, though. AWP can be difficult against the fast-moving pistols, and Lackey, well, he's rotated down and towards this lower bomb site to pad up the defense alongside Deco. Wow. Snappy looking for the plants in the smoke, and Lackey's not going to be able to deny. So that's at least in itself a success now for Falcons. And, well, they've got upgraded pistols. They've got an AK. They don't have great post-plant positions, but there is a way to make this work. Lackey's just going to stick the defuse in the smoke, and Falcons haven't been able to do anything about it.
What's enough?
All 10 players still alive on the server.
Look at Lucky.
Did they not hear it, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe not. I mean,
I barely noticed.
First point I want to make is that Falcons, actually, it was a nice strategy to get that bomb planted safely, then escape back through single door. But Lucky just wanders onto the site and defuses it. When they had a perfect chance to do something with that round, Falcons, they had the AK on dupreeh to maybe be someone they could bait in.
I mean, there have been some complaints sometimes about not hearing the tap on the defuse in CS2. Very rare, but it does sometimes happen, you know?
Yeah, one of the few things that I've heard, I think it was Twist's IEM Dallas when he was on the when he joined Sponge Machine for one of the casts in the arena. He said that very often, not helped by the fact, of course, there'd be maybe some crowd noise on occasion, you just don't hear the single door open on the lower side if you're in a specific position around the map. Obviously, that's not the diffuse sound, but there'd be something that could be linked in a way, perhaps. Yeah. But that was cheeky from Lucky, and you know what? Why not?
I mean, it would have been a bit of a nervy round there as well for Aurora having to make that retake happen, so that certainly made life a lot easier for them as we descend into the last round of this first half. It's been a brilliant display from Aurora since we got into the thick of things in the gun rounds. Can they find a 9th to cap off a very successful CT side so far? Looks like Snappy's going to try force the issue towards ramp, wanting to get ahead of the smoke, but you're not catching Lucky off guard. No.
Lucky's been very good toward ramp in the early stages of this game. Of course, that quad kill against that force buy a little while ago. Falcons struggling ever since. dupreeh kind of cooled off, it has to be said. I mean, dupreeh has been unbelievable, but Madden always lurked him through mini undetected, and Wrestle will get taken down.
Yeah, Madden has so much responsibility on this team, man. Stepping up into that star player role, especially on the CT side. He's going to be playing outside as well, so he'll have a lot of pressure on him. Can't kind of coast along as a role player anymore. He's got to step up to the plate and be the big dog on the server. And unfortunately, he's just been removed from the server, so that's his half over. Going to have to watch from the sidelines and hope the trio of dupreeh, Magisk, and Sunpius can find a way to recover. All three towards ramp, so at least they've been afforded some map control, but how do they convert this into a bomb plant?
Well, yeah, I mean, Aurora, of course, have been allowed them to do that, but utility might be the only thing going in Falcons' way here. They've got enough to possibly get their way down. There is some presence toward that double door area and that glass position for Aurora. This time Magisk will be allowed the plant. I say that. Oh, only just. And the damage toward Magisk is pretty significant. What a shot toward Lucky, though. Hang on a moment. 3 versus 3 on this retake for Aurora. Of course, they can have everything they want. They've got a smoke, they've got kits, they've got an incendiary as well. Norvi has found that frag on Magisk in the end. It's down to dupreeh and Sunpius. dupreeh, he's in a very powerful position, and Sunpius has taken Norvi in the meantime. You see legs first usually when you hold that angle, but Kenzie has delayed his position, delayed his rotation, and there is plenty of time for this defuse. It's 9 on CT for Aurora at half.
Within the body of a woman lies the heart of a man. It's a feat of engineering you could never understand. So tell me all your secrets, and I'll tell you all my lies. I've been walking with the angels, I've been talking in my sleep. An electric conversation, pins and needles in my feet. It's a full-on fascination with a twisted combination. We can catch the lightning. It's the perfect crime and does it hurt so bad when we touch too much? Does it feel so good when we touch too much? You could follow every instinct, you could fight the best you can. It's not
Aurora exuding confidence in that first half, amassed 9 rounds on their CT side. It's a very good display coming through from them, and winning the pistol would certainly set things in motion, and it doesn't look like they're going to waste any time.
Yeah, preparing themselves in toward lobby and towards Squeaky, but Dupree on pistol rounds. He aced the first half, and he's got to do some more as well. That's 7 kills in pistol rounds for Dupree in this game. It's going to go back and forth, though. Wrestle and Lackey trying their best. Ooh. Wrestle, catches Magisk. He just tries to jiggle the silo. And straight away, just like the pistol, actually, but the other way around, we're back into a 2v2.
Flip the scripture, man. Aurora giving Falcons some treatment that they received in that first half. Plenty time here as well to play with. Down into the 2v2, so much space to work with, and Falcons have just hedged their bets here. They've got Snappy on one bomb site, Madden on the other, and Madden's had his bell rung, so that's certainly going to make life a lot more difficult for him. Aurora will know that as well, might even motivate them to try and get in towards the, say, bomb site, and Madden's thinking, mate, I'm going to have to try something here. I'm going to have to make a move, and he does, but he moves into the crosshair of Result. That is his 3rd kill coming through in the pistol, and it's only Snappy left remaining.
Thing is, I really like that from Madden. It may look silly to push in a 2v2, but you're low HP. Gamble on trying to take some information and catch them walking away. When you know you've obviously had so much damage has been done, then maybe it's the better choice. But talking about choices, Snappy is here. How does he play this one? They're not expecting him on the site. This is so awkward for Snappy. Now they finally realize it, but he gets the first tap. It's so close to the second. Lackey trying to run him down, but Snappy, what a lifeline that could be for Falcon.
He actually got a bit of a shadow advantage there as well, did Snappy, which helped him just prepare for that last gunfight. Oh, he's very happy that they came in his direction, man. It's quite surprising that they decided to go down the vent to B, because they'd actually wrapped around outside, threw Mini into the A bomb site, saw no resistance, and then just decided off an inkling to try and pivot towards that lower bomb site. So now they don't even get a plant, and Aurora, well, in both pistol rounds have dropped the ball.
Wow.
That could have been the end of the map, basically.
Mate, Aurora have lost both pistols, and Falcons only have 4 rounds.
Yeah, I know. And in both pistols, Aurora had the advantage.
I know. This has been domination. It should be better than this for Aurora, really. But Falcons have a chance to deliver now because the eco is getting absolutely munched up. I say eco, I tell a lie. It's actually a full force buy for Aurora.
I wouldn't have blamed you, though, for calling it an eco because they just got destroyed there by the Julies and Sun Pius. So that is not the way that Aurora would have liked to try and respond after losing the pistol.
And that now gives Falcons a great path. Could probably all down to Snappy. Snappy has single-handedly given them an opportunity and a pathway to make this game a close one again.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, though, because Aurora looked so good in the gun rounds in that first half. So I'm still a little bit concerned. I'm a bit speculative here of Falcon's form. We're going to need to see a lot out of the individuals. Keep an eye on Sun Pius. He's absolutely one of the most important factors of Falcons on the CT side. He's not the kind of guy who's going to be hunting for those opening kills. Loves to play from heaven and hell, and he's very good with his first bullet accuracy on the cross. So he's certainly an integral cog on the defense, is Sun Pius.
Yeah, indeed. I am vaguely surprised at the decision from Aurora to go for this force buy in this round. I mean, I know them as an aggressive team, know them as a team which can go for that investment with utility and the Tech 9s and burst their way in. We saw Falcons do exactly the same thing via Dupree. But Kenzie's just desperately looking for 1 kill, and now he's shown himself. MP9 will finish it off. Well done for Magisk. You mentioned he had a slow game. Well, it's a chance for him to deliver now on the CT side. At the moment, Falcons in charge on this second half, and they're going to have an eco to follow. This is why I thought it was an eco, because of the fact that the dualies munched them up.
Snappy probably expected it to be an eco as well. That's why he brought the Julies into the round, because Julies against a force buy is not ideal by any stretch. Either way, it will now be an eco coming through from Aurora. They've got the deco. Actually, not something we see that often anymore. Deco and a deco. Let's see if they can do the damage. I'd love to find a couple kills here, phasing through the smoke. Snappy is just the pistol master. He got the clutch in the pistol, he then had the Julies in the previous, and now he's got a Tech 9, so just showing some diversity.
Yeah, recovering as much money as he can possibly make without investing anything.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Saving every penny.
Or cent.
There we go, that's true. I was just trying to play into something you'd be more familiar with.
Indeed. Snappy with that Tech 9 will AD his way to a second kill. And now it's just down to the 3 remaining Deagles to do something spicy, but Madden will deal with Norvi thanks to the help of that Sun-Pious flash outside.
Yeah, advantage of being on LAN as well. You can just look at your teammate's screen to see if you got the kill or not. And there we go. It is going to be Falcons starting off in the second half exactly the way they would have hoped, winning the pistol, converting against the Force, and then the anti-eco. 9-6 the scoreline as we head into the first full gun round. Aurora is still in a comfortable position, but if they lose this gun round, that's when things start to become a little bit sketchy for them.
Battle for Wrestle through the door smoke. The 3 MP9s. Do they want to put maybe a lobby crunch into play? Something like that in this round. Get up close and personal. Play with your movement speed with those SMGs.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Aurora look to try and abuse or punish Snappy towards ramp. You know, his individual level hasn't been great in recent times. Of course, focusing on a lot more in the team, trying to find the way to play the game here with these 5 players in the best style and make everybody comfortable. Sun-Pious has rotated across to support his captain, though, so it certainly will beef up the defense.
Aurora very patient in this one. Going for the customary later outside smokes at around a minute on the clock. Very common. And Sun-Pious, as you say, is very much in position. Presence now known outside. The MP9 will... There's some kit utility in there. It's Madden. Taking Kenzie down to 25, but Sun-Pious, as little does he know that he's had an enemy on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, I do like the decision to go A here from Aurora because they know Madden's the outside player. They forced him back down secret. That means the mini player has to turn his back to try and help defend outside. So A-bomb side could be slightly weakened right now. Madden's more get aggressive, but he's baited into the gunfight. Wrestled finds the frag. 2-man advantage now for Aurora as they look to try and get in towards the safe side, but they've got a few low HP individuals and Lackey will fall to the nade. Sun-Pious in position, 13 seconds on the clock. How on earth do Aurora break down the defense with no time on the clock? The answer is they don't.
Wrestle trying his best in a 1v3, but he's always going to get caught by Sun-Pious in the back. And now it gets interesting. First gun round goes the way of the Falcons on that bonus buy as well with the MP9.
True.
And, well, we thought this would be the pick of the BO1s. Right now, it is delivering.
You know, ironically, Falcons' better half on Nuke as of late has been at the T side. 61% win rate on that T side compared to a 50% win rate on their CT side. Certainly a contrast to what we've seen so far here on this map, but stats don't mean anything when you're in the game itself. It's all about the level you bring to the server, and right now Falcons are on the brink of recovering. And that's not what Lackey would have been hoping to shoot.
Well, whoopsie, I guess. Maybe we got to see a replay how that looked from Lackey's POV. But it makes me think this round is not going to go as Aurora would have wanted.
Yeah, they got that max round loss bonus behind them, so they've been able to dig a bit deeper into their pockets, some upgraded pistols, a scout as well. But unfortunately, not much to speak of right now.
The gap can be one round if Falcons clean this one up comfortably, and they're about to.
That's what I was talking about with Sun-Pious, by the way.
Yep.
So strong on the cross.
And on the defense on this map too.
Yeah, he actually kind of reminds me of the style that Device popularized when you just try and have presence across the board. You know, you show your hand at one part of the map, you rotate to have an impact somewhere else. Very versatile and dynamic with that AWP is Sun-Pious. We've seen him ramp already. We've seen him outside now in towards Hell. Madden looking to finish off the job here on Deco. Will be denied by dupreeh, but that's okay. Round goes the way of Falcons, and their flawless run on the CT side continues.
And flawless would be right. It took the snappy 1v2 on the pistol to set us up for this.
Yeah.
But I think if Aurora do go down in this game, they'll be looking at it and saying, well, you should have won both pistols and it should have been done like 13-4.
Yeah, precisely that, man. And we know that they are prone to allowing frustration to creep into the camp. So hopefully they'll be able to keep a stable mentality now coming into this all-important gun round because of all the heavy lifting they were able to get done in that first half, winning 9 of the 12. They still have a lead coming into the second gun round, but if this one doesn't go their way, then they're going to find themselves in a treacherous place.
Yeah, we mentioned, of course, it's the one map that Falcons have looked the most competent on lately as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, the two teams they've beaten, IE and Dallas, Liquid and Monty, probably it would be a bit relatively 50-50 games, I feel like. But it was 13-6, 13-4, so domination. And not proving to be as easy on Nuke this time for Falcons, but Aurora deserve that 9-3 lead at half without a shadow of a doubt. But at the moment, they are not the ones with the momentum.
Deco missed a very good opportunity to find an opening kill outside as well. A shot you expect him to hit more often than not. Magisk gets a little bit of love through the smoke there, and quite lucky to just walk away with still most of his health to his name. Aurora building their way into the round here. Madden catches Kenzie on the jump up, but Kenzie will get the kill.
Oh, that's a really important win from Kenzie. So good on the outside of Nuke, whether it's T or CT. Some Pius moved into a slightly more disadvantageous angle as well, and Norvi is taking down main man Dupree. There goes Snappy. 5v2, Aurora. Similarly, they've found a way. They know there's a vent player. Magisk is stuck in there. No point playing whack-a-mole for Magisk. Just fall away.
Alrighty.
Now some Pius is removed. So Aurora are going to hit double digits.
They will breathe a sigh of relief as they get this round across the line. They're also going to keep most of their players alive, if not all 5. That'll get them up to double digits as well. And courtesy of all the hard work they were able to get done in that first half, it means that they take a big step forward in the direction of winning this map. 10-8 up they go. More than enough money for Falcons to invest in the next. But I don't think there'll be anything left in the bank afterwards, bar Sun Pius.
That's just one of those rounds where it feels like Aurora just win their duels across the map at every opportunity they take. And there's not really an answer why it went wrong for Falcons. They didn't exactly have bad positions, but look where Deco was at the end of the round there. Completely destroying the possibility of the save, jumping off the ladder. And he's up to 16-9 in this game. He's been a bit more of a defensive AWPer than perhaps we've been expecting from him in recent times. The numbers suggest that that is the case.
I feel like it's toned down. It used to be, used to be more of an aggressive AWPer than we've seen in recent times. It could be something, though, because in the team they have quite aggressive-minded players in someone like Resalt and Kenzie as well, that he has to just tone it down a little bit to create enough space for his teammates.
Oh, Snappy's under pressure, and smartly he'll fall away before taking a duel, but it's going to go back for one, actually. Oh, it's very wobbly for Snappy, but he manages to get the kill in the end. And it all is going Falcons' way after that. In the end, that wasn't a worry whatsoever. Deco manages to catch Snappy nicely, but he'd be 1v5 with 19 HP. Not going to happen.
Fresh smoke deployed. He would be actually able to weave his way through these smoke grenades. Comes out on the other side, catches the first on Madden, has a very good idea. There's another player here appearing above the smoke. Deco's taken Dupree down as well. Okay, he breathes life back into the round here for Aurora. Down to the 1v2. It's going to have to be an ace for Deco here in the clutch. A 1 versus 5. 35 seconds to work with on the clock, and Falcons are isolated on the map right now. Some space has been afforded to him, but how does he get past Magisk's position here? It's going to be really difficult to traverse onto this B-bomb site.
If he had full health, I'd absolutely be feeling it, but even though he got those last 2 kills while he was low, I just can't see a way in which Falcons let this slip. Surely not.
He's got a smoke.
He's got the smoke for the plant, but the problem is any spam through that smoke when he commits to it should be taken down here. He's going to go for it. He's going to try and go for it safely. In the end, Magisk doesn't want to give him any opportunity any further. Gotta say, though, the damage to the economy from Deco could prove to be very important.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I think Magisk plays that perfectly as well. He knows that there's no time left for the defuse to be faked and then planted afterwards, so he just rushes forward. Even if he dies there, Deco wouldn't have been able to plant the bomb. Nice attempt from Deco, able to isolate these duels. Maybe not great coordination between Dupree and Madden playing on opposite sides of the smoke. They're not able to support each other, but it's okay. They get across the line, they win the round, and they close the gap to 1 once again.
That's not good.
That is a good way to describe it.
I would describe that as
poor.
Aggressively average.
Probably less than that, maybe. Probably quite a lot less than that.
That's why it's aggressively.
2 kills out of 2 opening kills in 12 rounds on a map that, they're very comfortable on the T side. So not the way we would have expected things to play out. But that's in the past. And right now on the CT side, they are having a far better time of those opening duels.
And you'd expect that on the defensive Nuke, but Aurora still have that slight edge. They'll know the damage they've done to Falcons' economy in this round. Sure, it's not broken yet, and they might have one more buy in arrears, even if Aurora take this round. But if we get toward a closer standpoint in the last few rounds of this entire map, it could be pretty impactful. Wrestle. Forward next to that smoke, and look at Norvi. Hang on a moment. They've got all the way through. Kenzie's removed some pyres. They see the Heaven player in Magisk, and Norvi just calmly taps him out of the round.
Yeah, looking so good, man, with those kills coming through. Aurora have gotten themselves into a fantastic position. Ressalt's been able to snake his way out of Squeaky Door as well, and Dupree is on the rafters, and, well, Result is going to be in a great position just to catch him off guard, and that's the kill that comes through. It's only Snappy left remaining, and the only thought on his mind right now is to try and save a gun. My goodness, what a response from Aurora, because they came into this round with no spare money in the bank. Had they lost this round, scoreline leveled up, they'd have to eco as well, and then things start to look very scary. So a vital round goes their way.
That is the critical round for Aurora, just to keep them at bay.
Yeah.
Keep them at arm's length. Norvi comfortably going about his business here. Kenzie once again owning outside. He can have his off games, Kenzie. He's not the consistent force that he once was, perhaps, toward the beginning of 2023 at one point. I think there was one point when he was on Aurora with Norvi, where he was just, that duo was dominating online games for the maybe better part of 3 months.
They completely tore the tier 2 scene apart, man. That duo was, yeah, probably the heaviest hitting duo in the tier 2 space at that time.
And this year, we thought they were back to that form again with this roster, even though of course, they benched Hooch as well. I didn't actually necessarily agree with that one. I'm a big Hooch enjoyer. But they still look really good after that. As I said, won the Sky Sports Masters, probably their biggest win ever as an organization.
Yeah, they've got Coach Brain behind them now. Not a name I'm too familiar with either way. This is a big decision coming through from Falcons. They've spent all their money, 3 MP9s and M4s as well. They've gotten an opening kill, but there's still work to be done. Utility will chip down the Aurora players as they look to continue to pressure this A-bomb site. More damage inflicted, but it looks like Aurora have been able to get through the Squeaky Door. Madden has to now make a play through the smoke, but that's not going to work out for him. Aurora gain full control, set themselves up in a post plant, and Falcons have their work cut out for them in the retake.
That's a great catch from Kenzie. That could have easily spiraled. Amazed that Aurora went for a pure A-rush there against a buy that could be so dangerous to do just that against. With the 2 MP9s on Falcons, of course, but it could still spiral. Hang on a moment. That's a frag that Deco should have taken. He'll go down to Snappy. It's down to Kenzie. First player on low HP jumps in, and the second spray can't be converted. And Falcons will get away with it and once again keep this game at a 1-round match.
Oh man, they're just breathing a massive sigh of relief right now. It looked really good for Aurora as they got into that A-bomb site. There was some chip damage done and even looked like some team damage there from Lackey onto Kenzie, which didn't make life any easier for him in the 1 versus 3. But alas, Falcons get the job done and they draw within a round again. I mean, they're keeping them, like you say, they're keeping them within reach, making sure that Aurora don't pull too far ahead here. What's the money situation looking like?
Oh, a lot more of Madden's body there showed through that smoke than I was expecting. I thought there was an easier catch there from Kenzie. But again, even despite that damage, it's a 3v3 afterplot. You should be expecting to win that if you're Aurora. They've been given a lot of chances in this game. They've taken most of them, but having not won both pistols when they're in winning positions in both of them, they're going to be kicking themselves if they find a way to, well, snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
This is such an important round for both of these teams. Look at the money, Trav. Look at the money. There is none to look at. Whoever loses this round is going to have to eco in the next, and that's a big problem for Falcons. Obviously, they'll force buy, but they wouldn't be able to bring much to the table. And because it's been back and forth as well, neither team has much round loss bonus behind them. Probably more so Aurora than the CT side. So game on, pressure on. This is exactly what we expected coming into this best of 1.
I'm so glad it's a close, entertaining matchup between these two. It's what exactly I wanted. Awesome. Pius in a position which you can so often get cheeky kills from. They'll be removed by Kenzie again. He's been so insane in this game. Dupree and Magisk will try and answer back. Magisk so reliable in these anchor positions. 3 kills. And Falcons about to even up at 11 rounds apiece if Kenzie can't do the impossible.
I think he's just going to save his AK here, man. I mean, they've got nothing to work with in that next round. It would detach him from the team economically going forward, but at least it gives him a hero AK in the next, which he certainly wouldn't have been able to afford if he goes down. That is a huge hold coming through from Magisk, who's struggled so far today, but when they needed him the most, he's able to stand tall and contribute the way that was required.
Wow. All those years of experience for Magisk in tough roles, anchor positions. So reliable.
Used to being overwhelmed and just holding his own, man.
He's just, I don't know, one of the best of all time at doing that, I believe, at least in my eyes.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
not
got
in
the
the
majors
current,
to prove it.
Of course, like not in the current era, perhaps with this team. We're not seeing it as much, but deserved grin on his face after that hold. 3 critical kills. And this game, well, it's the 14-14 of CSGO. We can't pick a winner.
I love how he repositions here because the player coming through the door is not expecting to take the fight there with Magisk, and then he even avoids the trade coming through from the Squeaky player. Very good crosshair placement, and he's rightfully proud of that one. And actually, Aurora have spent all their money. Kenzie, who had the hero AK coming into the round, has already been brought down to 17 health. Oh my goodness, this game is teetering. It's on the brink right now. They're looking to try and make a play in towards Ram. Snappy falls backwards by the util, but he'll stand his ground. St. Pius is rotated through, but he's also only good for one. A 3v3 round, very much alive for both of these teams.
Oh, look at Kenzie. He's trying to be cheeky. He's maybe got a good timing here onto the... Oh, the CT vent player. That was the opportunity. If he was any higher HP than that, that was going to be his kill. It's Deco 1v2, full health with the bomb, with the AK. This is so very doable for him. He's got a whole minute to play with. He'll even open the double doors. That's a bit of a ruse. Yeah, maybe it's something that might go against him in the end. He's trying to lure them in. He's trying to force them into fighting him. And he's got this much time on the clock to play with. He'll fake it on B to begin with, and now he's opened those double doors. He can maybe work his way up if he really wants to. Deco may be at risk of overthinking this one, though. Blunt will go down eventually. He will be allowed to do that. Dupree only 29 HP, of course. Madden not exactly full health either. And Deco is going to try and creep his way through that double door position. And I really like the spot he's in now.
That's the advantage he gets from opening the doors earlier on, as he's now given a way to get off the bomb site without giving any information away. So a decent post-plant position for him to play with. Madden's got a kit, but Dupree's on the deck. Madden sticking the defuse in the smoke here. Deco has to hit the shot. He will, but it's not in time. Falcons have got it, and that's going to get them up to match point.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Deco did everything right. He did absolutely everything right. It seems like the only thing I could criticize, maybe at that last high-pressure moment, took an extra second to get up onto the railing with the crouch jump and go for a clean spray through that smoke.
Probably just in the back of his mind, it could be a fake and wanting to delay that spray as long as possible. Here it is, first kill on Dupree. Defuse busy being stuck, but kill doesn't come through in time. At least Aurora get the bomb plant. They can force overtime from here. Falcons need this last round. That would secure the job in regulation and complete the comeback. They've lost just 2 rounds on the CT side so far. Can they keep it at that tally and conclude proceedings here and now?
Oh, damage done to Norvi already. He'll be found by Madden. And they know exactly where they've locked him in toward here, but do they have a position to try and remove him? Oh, Lucky. Only needs that one bullet to find that kill. He's managed to find his way through credit card. He could just take a heads-up duel now if he wants to. Wrestle's taken Magisk in the meantime. And it might be all down to Dupree once again. He's seen one cross, but he gets caught by Deco. And there's Wrestle once again. Aurora fighting for their lives. And it looks like we are going to be going to overtime. Snappy will hold the line, gets one back. But they know where he is. One thing that I will mention is that maybe, I was going to say the off angle might not work, but it does. And Aurora battle their way through to extra round.
Yeah, it feels like they deserve overtime at the bare minimum after such a strong showing on their CT side. You know, it will certainly be in the back of their minds that they dropped a number of rounds that they should have won, but they're still here, they're alive. What a game we've had between Falcons and Aurora. Absolutely living up to the expectations so far. Good from Aurora not to crumble under the pressure here coming into this last round of regulation as well. Holding their own, hitting some good shots. We wipe the slate clean and we run it back in OT.
What a great regulation that was. Super, super enjoyable. But this beginning of overtime for Aurora is not going to be enjoyable. So much damage to the smoke done by Snappy. And the HE finishes it off.
Looking a bit like the old Nuke at the moment with the strength we're seeing from the CT sides at the moment. Both teams just having a really tough time of it on their T half, struggling to get those opening kills. It's only Result and Deco left remaining, and Result will duck dive his way down the fence, and he's actually finds himself in the back lines. Looks like some info has been relayed through to Sunpius, so yeah, he'll be able to shift his focus in that direction, and that's going to net him the kill. Deco left alone, and not a single dot of damage done until he lands that bullet on Madden.
Yeah, Deco's got a 2 KD in this game, and that'll be cancelled by Dupree, but unfortunately couldn't get that win in regulation. I wonder if he's going to be thinking about that 1 versus 1 still he had a chance on. With that smoke on the bomb. That extra split second, Counter-Strike, a game of fractions, game of split seconds, tenths, thousandths.
Yeah.
Formula 1 levels.
That's it.
It's what has taken us here. And Falcons will get off to that clean start in the first half of overtime. They'll be thinking to themselves, why didn't we just do that the round before? Oh, hello. Aggression. Hang on a moment. We're right in with this one for Falcons, and Norway doesn't realize they could be so far forward. Just drops down from the T roof there. Oh. The battle back from Aurora wasn't bad, but Dupree's doing it again. He wins so many of these duels, but it's down to Wrestle. 2 headshots. And he knows where Sunpius is. Is he going to try and jump across the angle? Oh, it's so tight. Now he realizes it. Oh, his crosshair placement was almost spot on. But Sunpius saves the Falcons' blushes.
You can see the frustration there from Result as well. He knows, I should have just waited for the smoke to bloom. I had the correct read. I knew he was outside. He gives Sunpius the peek he so desperately deserves. Because think about how the cogs are turning in Sunpius' mind there. If that smoke blooms and he doesn't get the kill on the cross, now Result could go anywhere with the bomb. There's still so much time left in the round as well, so he would certainly breathe a massive sigh of relief. Team Falcons go up by 2, and they're in pursuit of a flawless first half of overtime.
If Aurora find 1 on T side though, don't forget how incredibly clean their gun rounds were in regulation on CT side. Just 1 could be enough. Obviously it works both ways, but if Falcons find a way to clean sweep this one 3-0, and I do worry a bit for Aurora. And have multiple chances, and there you go. I don't blame you, my friend.
Yeah, I just love the passion, honestly. Either way, let's see if Aurora can get themselves around on the board here in this first half of OTT side. Oh. Beautiful headshot from Kenzie, somewhat cancelled up by Sunpius, and I mean, I must say, how good has Snappy been towards ramp in this half here? I mean, Aurora have jostled with him a number of times, and they haven't really been able to get much done. But yeah, a bit of a caster's curse there, as he will falter on this occasion. That earns the man advantage from Aurora, but Sunpius looks to try and get it back, and he's in a good position. Oh. It's going to be a clip through the wall there onto Deco, who will still have some life left in him.
Magic has now taken up that position of Snappy. And of course, that opens up other areas for Aurora. Just pure, unadulterated aim duels being taken by Aurora on this round. And that's what they're best at. We see them run over teams online playing this way, especially when it feels like they feel like the pressure is off. When the pressure is on, it feels like they are a completely different team.
Oh, Magisk. He is in a very good position right now. Bit of an off angle to work with here as well. Low HP player up to the plate first, baits out the shots, and Norway steps in to get the kill. That is a strong frag coming through. A really important kill, creates so much space here for Aurora as well. There's nobody towards that lower half of the map right now, so Aurora will have free reign of this B bomb site, but it's not an impossible retake. Most players tagged up on the server, certainly the Aurora players more so than Falcons. There's a little bit of util here as well. That underarm nade. Oh, Dupree, not like this. He ends up offing himself and leaves Sunpius in the 1 versus 2. Deco and Norway are low, and Sunpius has been able to snake his way through the control room window, but there's nothing on offer. Spotted out, he'll go down, and Aurora get that important round on the T side.
Mate, I have no words. Dupree, if he was full health, that was absolutely the right thing to do. The nade breaks open the smoke and the door. Sunpius opened it for him. Of course, you saw it opened inward because of the position of that smoke as well. They were ready. They were ready to burst through. And it could not have gone worse for Dupree. It's such a brilliant game. Has Dupree been the main man on so many an occasion, but we see it there from Sunpius' POV. It sets up the kill for Sunpius, but Obviously, that was not the plan for dupreeh. 28 kills in this game, of course, the -1 from the team, from the unfortunate suicide, but goodness me. Is that lifeline that I mentioned Aurora needed? That one round on T-half, after how good their CT regulation was.
Aurora do need to win this first round here in the second half of OT though, Trav. Lose this, go down 15-13, and then off the back of that, they're just looking to fight for OT too. They've been able to force overtime once already, but they don't want to find themselves in that position again. Oh, Kenzie looking for a bit of a gap as that smoke starts to fade. Players might become exposed, but Falcons know their timings. Using that full length of the smoke to get 4 players across completely undetected. Lackey's going to be the man to try and head in that direction and set up a bit of a defense, but little does he know, the entirety of the Falcons players left alive are heading in that direction.
Try the boost to take up the headshot angle on the stairs, but dupreeh will make some noise dropping off of that. Aurora, man up. It might have to be a lot of Lackey though. Single door will be burst open, bomb will be dropped over, it needs to win the duel straight away, and it's 2. It could even be more as well. Sunpius finally puts an end to it, but dupreeh should be found by Norvi. He was the insurance policy, and Sunpius, he's more stuck than the stuck thing. We'll finally find the ramp player, but he knows that that dark player does not need to peek. Double swing from the single door, and we're back even once again.
No end in sight, mate, and I'm here for it. Really good game here so far between these two teams, giving it everything that they've got. Falcons, their goals to win the tournament. Aurora, they're going to be just jostling for the same thing. That spot at Pro League up for grabs. And of course, a cool change, purse of change as well. You know, only $100,000 or so. All right, well. Whoever wins this round gets themselves a match point. 1 chance to try and finish off proceedings here on Nuke. And Kenzie, yeah, he's been looking for things outside, but just not afforded much so far here on the CT side.
Patience from Falcons. This game has certainly lived up to the billing. Lackey will traverse his way back through the glass to take up a position toward the closer to the vent in case of a quick rotation being necessary. Magic's just waiting to see if Aurora want to go aggressive once again. You can see, you can feel the caginess.
Yeah, the tension is palpable, man.
Or Kenzie tagged down by Sunpius, but in the end, Kenzie actually finishes that kill off. dupreeh another entry, but Norvi has the favoured angle, and he flicks round to take 1 more, and Magis goes down 2. Result finds Madden. Big cheers for Aurora. Now they have a match point.
Norvi and Resol playing so well off of one another there on that A-bomb site. A brilliant contact switch between them, just covering both bases of Hut and Squeaky Door. Falcons not able to spread their wings, not able to get off the ground. And now they're on the brink of being clipped.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Aurora 9-3 up. We thought once they were in a 2v1 on the pistol that, well, the game could be over very quickly. But Snappy's 1v2 set Falcons up for this recovery in the second half. It got them a match point at 12-11. Now Aurora have their opportunity, and it's on that CT side as well. I mentioned how important that 1T round in overtime could prove to be. And you see Norvi and Result there.
Yeah.
Kind of the position Magis got his multi-kill from earlier as well.
Just talking about the Sunpius death there, I think because he legs Kenzie, he's really baited into trying to finish off the kill. That's why he goes for the swing and he gets punished. Needed to just hold himself a little bit better, a bit more discipline. Either way, Aurora have an opportunity to finish off the map, but Sunpius has another plan in mind. He wants to continue to prolong this map. He wants to see the light of day in another set of overtime. And they're headed in towards Deco. He's been a monster so far. He had 26 kills to his name. 4 players on the other side of the wall. He is the only man between Falcons and that B bomb site right now. And he's going to be mollied back here as well. Good protocols coming through from the T side.
Oh, the nade just clips
Chunky.
4 of them. My word. And now Deco just trying to jiggle peek it, trying to jump spot it. Oh, bit of a fumble with the door, but it's a fake at the same time as well. They might be expecting him to have gone back to the site in a more defensive angle. But he's sticking around.
What's the call here? Where do Falcons actually go from here? They've still got plenty utility. They still have Magisk outside as well. So they have the option of doubling back here through Secret and going around outside. And of course, there's no way that the CTs would know of Madden's position, but Lackey's tracking them as well. There's so many moving parts to this round right now. Who can maintain their composure is the question. Snappy gets a great opening kill. Lackey activates as well. Now they double back to deal with him, but Lackey's dropped a bomb carrier. It's all over. Aurora out of nowhere. Rob Falcons and get the map in their favor.
Oh, as soon as I saw that Lackey flank all the way through Secret, bypassing the vent player, they had no information on Lackey being there so quickly. I had a feeling that could just spiral for Falcons, and it absolutely did. Great mental fortitude from Aurora to recover that one from being 9-3 in front.